Welcome. My name is Andy Crook and I'm your host for tonight's training topic on the joy formula, or as it's sometimes known, the maths of happiness. Every week I try to go live to help garage owners become more successful in business. This week I'm looking at the joy formula. It's not my particular concept, it belongs to someone called Paddy Congdon. And I come across his work when I was reading the book about sort of well-being and success. And what he did is he took an idea that's quite well known about well-being, and he added some stuff to it, and he called it the joy formula. And what I liked about it more than anything else was it combined a number of things that I often talk about it. And he put it together into a formula. And who doesn't like a formula? Well, most of us, I'd suggest, but I particularly like doing a bit of maths, so it really appealed to me. So in this training topic, we'll dive into a fascinating equation that attempts to quantify one of humanity's most sought after emotions, joy. The formula: joy equals success plus well-being to the power of purpose. And it offers a unique lens on the view of the pursuit of happiness. In this episode, hopefully I'll offer a fresh perspective on the science of joy. But not only that, we will examine the three areas in that formula. We're going to look at success, well-being, and purpose. And what we're going to do is we're going to unpack a little bit of what a definition of success could be and why we need to look at certain metrics within our lives and our business. We'll revisit a topic that I did a little while ago about well-being, and we'll update what I called the 5 Fs to the 7 Fs of well-being. And we'll talk about purpose, which is something that that's unique, I suppose, to this particular formula when we talk about joy. So without further ado, let's get on with today's training topic, all about the joy formula. So, as I've already said, the joy formula is simply joy equals success plus well-being to the power of purpose. And it's these three things that we're going to look at. I'm going to start with success. And the first question I suppose I'm going to ask is, how are you measuring success if you don't set yourself a target? And that's an interesting conundrum, if you like, because if we don't have a plan, then we don't know where we are on a particular road to a target, because generally it's goal setting and planning that is difficult to do in small businesses, because well, we just don't really have time, do we? And it seems all as a little bit fluffy and a little bit, yeah, we don't really need any of that. But I'd argue that we do. And obviously, planning is a big part. It's one of the 5 pillars of success as I see it. And planning means setting goals. So if we don't have a target, how do we measure success? What is success? And we're not just talking about in business. I'm also talking about in life. We kind of have, without setting a target, sort of a structured target. We have targets in life, don't we? That what we want to achieve, without writing them down. But we should also set ourselves other goals, smaller goals maybe, because without setting goals, it's hard to celebrate the wins. And that's what setting targets does. It allows you to celebrate wins on the route to a bigger target, as well as providing, obviously, a focus for your efforts. So if you think about it, having weekly, monthly, quarterly, and annual targets combined with your big, audacious vision for your personal life and your vision allows you to celebrate small wins and huge milestones regularly. And it's that regular being able to celebrate, breaking everything down into smaller and smaller chunks. Was you successful today? Was you successful this week, this month, this quarter? And it's celebrating those wins that makes the big difference. But did you notice something about all of those targets? There was a time limit or a deadline, because it's not the same as saying, I need to lose a stone, as saying, I need to lose a stone by Christmas. Because by adding a deadline, we make the target somehow finite. It has to be done by a time, which means that we become more focused, and we can also celebrate if we're successful. If we're not being successful, we're not losing the pound a week or whatever it is we've set ourselves as the target. On a smaller time scale, we can modify whatever it is we're doing. So in that case, it could be a behavior. We could be exercising a little bit more, or we could be eating a little better. Whatever it is to achieve that. And it's the same in business. So what I'm saying is to know if you're being successful or not, you must just set yourself targets, and those targets must have a deadline. They must be a time limit. And we must then measure, manage, and master whatever it is we're doing to achieve that target. And the other thing we must do is we must celebrate those wins. Start every meeting on a positive note and celebrate those wins. It's one of the easiest ways to start to build success into your weekly sort of work life, if you like, is start every meeting with what went well. Celebrate the win of last week. Make sure you start every week, or if you have your meetings at the end of the week, finish the week on a high. Always go into that meeting celebrating a win. You can't celebrate if you haven't been successful, but let's make sure that if we're just off, that we're celebrating being close to it and modifying the behaviors to achieve it. And that's how you get to the point of mastery. And we talked about this in a previous topic, where mastery orientation is when you can compare your performance against where you want to be, not your performance of others. And that goes for your personal life and your business life. Compare your business with where it was to where it's going, not with other businesses. And that's where you achieve mastery orientation. Remember, you are the star of your own movie. And discipline is the bridge between your goals and your accomplishments. And the way we can maintain discipline is seeing progress, measuring against defined targets. So that defines success in the joy formula. But what about well-being? Well, in a previous training topic, it was called Fix Yourself First. We took an in-depth look at what I called the 5 F's of well-being. And we talked about making sure that you fixed yourself first, so that as the business owner or head of the family, you can't really take care of anyone else unless you're taking care of yourself first. The idea, the concept of putting your own oxygen mask on first. It was a little while ago. It's in the guide section, or there is a podcast if you care to look for it. And the 5 F's previously were fitness, friends, faith, and then we looked at finance, and they were the first ones. And what I've added to those to make it the 7 F's is fun and future. So let's quickly go through them in order as I see it. So the most important thing you need to look at is your fitness, and that is your physical and mental health. If that's not right, nothing else follows. The next one, family. And we discussed this previously. Your closest network is usually your family base. And we spoke about how you can't choose your family, but you can choose your friends. And sometimes, not everyone, and I understand this, is lucky enough to be raised in a loving family, and they don't know what that feels like. So the next one, friends, I link family and friends together because some people's friends are closer than their family. And we talked last time about your network being your net worth. And if you are the average of the 5 people you hang around with most. And then we talked about faith. And we discussed last time that faith doesn't have to be a religion. It can be if you are religious. But it's more about your values, what you believe in. And we talked about something called a value action gap. And this value action gap is often the thing that makes you feel or brings a lot of discomfort into your life because you're not actually living those values. There's some sort of a gap between what you do and what you believe, or what you perceive to believe. And then what I said was, if all of those 4 things are in place and they're great, the finance or fiscal part of the 5 F's would take care of itself. And to a large extent, that is true. But you still have to have a mind on your on your finances. And we've just recently done a training topic on money mastery. But the two I wanted to add is after faith, I've added fun. Before money, fun. And these are your hobbies and interests, what you do to enjoy yourself, and especially activities that bring you in contact with other people, the social activities that you carry out. Because as a business owner, and most of us in the group are, you can find yourself isolated, finding few people to talk to about your day-to-day struggles. So if you have hobbies and interests that get you out and about and maybe get you talking to other people in similar positions, they don't have to be in the motor trade, other small business owners would do. You A problem shared is often a problem halved. So taking care of that side, making sure that you build into your wellness some fun, and it's after faith and before money, in my opinion. But then the seventh F, which is the update to the previous five Fs, is the future. And this is what I call hope and motivation, which are essential for your mental well-being. So it takes you all the way back to the first one, fitness. So as human beings, we kind of always have this sort of view of the future. We're always thinking ahead. We're always thinking about what our lives will be like, planning for some event that's yet to happen, if you like. And it's this that is important, and it brings us right back to the idea of success and planning is having some hope for the future provides us with that motivation. So there, the update on the five Fs to make it the seven Fs of well-being. So success and well-being is half of the joy formula, because what we're going to do, if we have success in our lives and we're looking after ourselves, our well-being is good, if we add those two together and raise it to the power of purpose, then that is what joy really is. And purpose is basically your life's mission or your business mission. That's one way of looking at what purpose is. And if you're asked that, what is your business purpose or what is your life's mission, most people can't answer it, or they certainly can't answer it succinctly. But could you imagine a life where you turn up every day and work towards being successful, mastery, and healthy, wellness and well-being, so that you can do more for longer, which is at the end of the day what we want from being well, but only doing what you love for the people who need it and appreciate you most? Can you imagine a life like that, where you turn up every day and work towards being successful, healthy, but only doing what you love for the people who need it and appreciate you most? Now that sounds like bliss, happiness, or even joy, but it is possible. However, sadly, few of us take the time to define a personal or professional mission. We often drift along aimlessly and unfulfilled. If we are lucky, our passion becomes our profession because it pays the bills. However, there are dangers involved in your passion becoming your profession. Because you love doing what you do, you end up doing it for free. You don't count the hours, you get lost in time. But true alignment comes from your purpose, which is the thing that we love to do, that the world or others needs most. Your cause, on the other hand, is what the world needs that you can be paid for. Not quite the same thing. But imagine a mission that is the center of your passion, your purpose, your cause, and your profession. This is what the Japanese call akigai. And basically, what you're looking for is the thing that you could do that overlaps what you love doing, what the world or others need the most, that you can be paid for, and that you're good at. Because basically, what you're good at and that you love doing is normally what becomes your passion. What you're good at and you can be paid for generally is your profession. What you love and the world needs is your purpose, and what the world needs that you can be paid for is your cause. Now, if you find the sweet spot where all of those things overlap, and basically what you have there is four Venn diagrams, which is what the Akigai circles actually looks like, you are living a life of purpose. And if you can raise your wellness and your success to the power of purpose, you truly will be living a joyful life. So the atomic action for this week is simply this. Make sure you're setting yourself targets that you can measure, manage, and master in your personal life and in your business, because that will define your success. Make sure that you've updated your 5 F's to the 7 F's of well-being. That's your fitness, your family, your friends, your faith, fun, finances, your future. They're your 7 F's of well-being. If you're then healthy, you've got a great network around you, you're living your values, you're enjoying yourself, you're getting out, you're being social, you're taking care of the finances, and you've got hope for the future, then you're probably going to be doing okay. And then what you're going to do is you're going to raise that to your purpose, which means defining your mission, your personal mission and your professional mission. And if you're lucky enough to find a mission that becomes your purpose, that is what you love and what the world needs, then you're probably going to find that it'll be something they're good at, so it'll combine your passion, your profession and your cause. You will be truly joyful. If I've made you think a little bit about what joy means and the maths of happiness, then I've done my job. Thanks for joining me. See you next time. Bye bye.